Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years. We're dedicated to delivering quality auto parts, expert customer service, fast and free shipping, all backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. So visit us at 1aauto.com, your trusted source for quality auto parts.
And I'm just going to fold my seat forward, and then the tools and the jack are right here. You just lift up, and in this vehicle it looks like somebody's been in here and just kind of threw the pouch back in. And then you'll want to turn your jack counterclockwise, brings it down, and it lifts up and out. And you'll also want these two items. And you would normally have to undo this to get the tools out, but somebody has not put it back together. We'll show you how to put it back together at the end. So as you can see, our right rear tire is very low on air, flat. So the first tool you're going to use are these triangular shaped things. You'll go to the opposite wheel, and these are wheel chocks. So stuff them in. So carefully, you don't want to break your key, but pry from the bottom and pull that out. Take your key. Out. Then your tools are here, and actually within the tools it kind of gives you an idea of where to put the jack and how to do things, but we'll show you in more in depth. You want to put the square end or a square end in. Take another to extend it. And counterclockwise should allow the tire to come down. And what might happen sometimes is as you're going down, if it gets hard to turn, make sure you go back some, apply some downward pressure on the tire. As it gets down to the ground, pull out on it and keep coming down. Once you get it out a certain way, lift the tire up. You want to bring this up on top, push it through, and then you can pull the spare tire out. On the rear axle on both sides, there's indentations in these platforms to the inside, so you just want to get your jack under there and get it up in. For the front tire, the book kind of gives you an idea, but maybe a little better visual. Here's the door of the vehicle, the front tire. Obviously, if you're having to replace one of the front tires, you want to have the wheel chocks on the opposite rear. And then you can see underneath, I've got my jack here. And the spot they're talking about is this spot right here where these basically beams come together. Put your jack right under there and go up with it. Again, you put this together. This is the end that will go into the jack, the flat end. And then put it together and point the jack out. Once you have the jack in place, before you jack it up, you'll want to remove any of the wheel covers and then loosen the lug nuts. And one tip, if you're not as big of a or as strong of a person, you put it on there, make sure it's on there good, and then use your foot and step on the tire iron. You just want to loosen the lug nuts at first. And then with those loosened up, bring the car up. Now remove the lug nuts the rest of the way. Keep your center cap handy and put the lug nuts in it so you keep track of them. Before the last lug nut comes off, just make sure that your tire is loose and it'll come off. If you do find the wheel is stuck, a couple of things: you can kick it really hard at the edge and see if that breaks it loose, or worst case, put a couple of lug nuts back on and then lower it down and shake the car back and forth to break it loose. Bring the wheel and flat tire off. Spare tire, bring it over, and lift it into place. Put your lug nuts on. Once you have a couple on, just use your tire iron. Those two on kind of firm. Put the rest of them on. And then we'll tighten it up once the vehicle's back on the ground. So the lug nuts back on and just kind of preliminarily tightened. And lower the car back onto the ground. Pull it out, and you'll want to put it back down so you can get it stowed. And now tighten your lug nuts, just cross as you're doing it. It should be tightened to 100 foot-pounds, but obviously on the side of the road you're probably not going to have a torque wrench, so just get them nice and tight. And with all four wheels back on the ground, we can remove our wheel chocks. So before we go back down the road, we're going to have to get the spare tire carrier up off the ground at least. So put your extension back in, go back up, just pull that up off the ground. And if you were on a trip or something and you needed to, you could put your flat tire up on the hoist. Usually you just put it into the back, go get it fixed, and get it back together. So now we'll just show you how to put the tools back away. All right, put your jack tools back in the pouch. Put the small square ends in first. And then the lug wrench part goes into the pouch. So that folds over and that latches like that. All right, put the wheel chocks back on the jack. Have the yellow wheel sitting up. This goes underneath and then on, and then the wing nut holds that in place. Now this can go down in, and there's holes on the bottom of the bracket that go on to the bracket down there. You lay it into place and then run it back up to basically tighten it into the bracket. That's in there good. And then take your jack tools and just kind of put them right there like that. Hook the bracket onto the tools. Put it in place and tighten it up. And then put it back in place. This back in place. This line on top goes on top. And we can put our flat tire in the back. and take it and get fixed.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.